What's good, family? Welcome back to another video. Today we will be reacting slash reviewing, more so reviewing, Monday Night Raw from last night. Now, as you can see, I'm not doing the slideshow sort of video style that I've done before. I would love to do that, but I've unfortunately been given, I guess not unfortunately, I've fortunately been given more hours at my job. So Tuesdays I no longer have off, which sucks because I was just starting to get into NXT too. And I really was enjoying making those videos, but I just don't really have the time for it. Now especially working on Tuesdays. I do want to try. Let me try like probably next week. I'm gonna try to structure my day better. Try to wake up early and watch Raw, make clips, but I usually need the whole day. So I'm gonna try. Next week, I'm gonna give it a shot. So we're just gonna do the same thing that I did last week, just have an image on screen and talk about Raw. So kicking off Raw, we had CM Punk wasting no time, went straight out to the ring, grabbed the microphone, tore the top off the announce table, he stood on top of the announce table, and he proceeded to call out The Rock and John Cena and Seth Rollins. He tells The Rock like, "Yo, man, like I can't even talk. That corporate bullshit that you keep putting on, this front that you keep putting on to pretend that you like wrestling and you love the business, but you really don't. You don't care about the business. You're in it for yourself. You're a phony." I'm paraphrasing here. But he basically calls him out. He basically is like, "Yo, like this bullshit that you always do, coming out to the ring, showing us your goosebumps, like those aren't actually real. You don't have any love for the business." And he's like, "I wish I could have sold my soul to you," which leads to John Cena. John Cena, I don't know if he said I'm disappointed in you. I'm kind of using my own words here, but he tells him like it's like, "John Cena, like, this whole time, this whole past 20 years, we were sold this gimmick that you were a nice guy, that you were for the people, that you were for the kids. Come to find out, that was bullshit too." And he tells him, he's like, "Man, like if I only would have known that was your plan, like I wouldn't have let you fucking win either. I wouldn't have let you move on to WrestleMania. I would have stopped you." Um, and then he tells him, he's like, he says a very, very, uh, very cryptic line. Not cryptic, but it's a dope line. It's a dope line slash cryptic line. And he says something to the fashion of, uh, you know, John Cena and The Rock. I'm paraphrasing because again, I've only watched the episode back twice, so I'm kind of forgetting some key things here. He says something in the fashion of, "The Rock, John Cena, you guys better count down your days. Your days are numbered, because by the time I get to you and I deal with you, you're gonna want to make a wish that this never happened." You know what I mean? Again, paraphrasing, that's probably not exactly what he said, but he did use the term "make a wish," which I thought was brilliant. I love how he used that term. I love how uh he basically took a shot at them, because those two are very, I don't know about The Rock. I don't know if he's ever made make a wishes. He's probably done a handful of them, but mostly John Cena, he's mostly known for the Make a Wish Foundation and representing that whole foundation. So I thought that was brilliant. Then he proceeds to call out Seth Rollins, calls him little bro. "You got my full attention now." Seth Rollins comes out. CM Punk wastes no time, immediately runs towards him. The two scrap, they squabble up, they start throwing down. It starts pouring into the ring. From the ring, it pours into the announce table. The crowd is screaming, "This is awesome," which it was, because they were like literally fighting on the announce table. Freaking security guards everywhere trying to pull them apart. Pat McAfee's over the barricade. Michael Cole is back by the timekeeper area. It's just all out mayhem. It's all out craziness. They separate Seth Rollins. He finally begins to walk towards the back. CM Punk is being restrained. They're kind of walking him towards the timekeeper area. And at this point in my head, I'm thinking, oh, they're going to meet each other in the crowd, aren't they? Seth Rollins is going to run around. CM Punk is going to run around. And they're going to meet each other in the crowd. And unfortunately, here in the United States, Raw went to commercial break, but that is indeed actually what happened. They met each other in the crowd. They started squabbling even more, and then they went on to the next segment, which was, off the top of my head, I can't really remember it. I think it was Gunther and Otis. Gunther and Otis had a match. Otis, non-title match, by the way. Otis simply just wanted to get revenge for Akira Tozawa for what Gunther did to Akira last week. Match was solid. I love Gunther. I love how he puts over the talent without actually putting them over. Match result wise, he makes the opponent look good. Otis has some good moves. He had like a cross body, threw him over his shoulders onto the mat outside. Gunther kept hitting Otis with a big boot, like 4 or 5 several times. I thought that was pretty dope. Otis did a caterpillar, went straight into the elbow, wasted no time getting into it. 2 count. Gunther kicks out. Then Gunther finally takes control again. Power bombs Otis 1, 2, 3, and that's it. But before Gunther could go any further and celebrate, he immediately drops the belt, puts Otis in a chokehold. Akira comes in, jumps on his back, which is kind of funny. Akira's like hanging on to him like a sloth on Papa Sloth. Gunther throws him off, starts beating the hell out of both of them, and of course, Jey Uso comes running out. Jey Uso runs out, and he doesn't get any sort of offense in. Gunther immediately shuts it down, immediately starts beating him up, immediately puts him in a chokehold, and then Jey Uso would get free. But before getting free, not too long after getting free, I should say, he would be met with A-Town down under. They came from behind, started beating him up. Jey Uso would get the upper hand again, and then Gunther would come from behind and put Jey in a chokehold, making him pass out. And then that's it. Moving on to the next segment, we had, off the top of my head, I can't remember, so it's not going to be in chronological order. You had Lyra Valkyria and Ivy Nile. This match wasn't bad. Ivy Nile is slowly becoming better each and every week, so I do appreciate that. I do appreciate some of the moves that she's done in the match, more specifically targeting Lyra Valkyria's injured knee or her leg, whatever it was, probably her ankle, knee, something like that. And just working that body part, using in-ring psychology. Lyra Valkyria was selling pretty good as well. Yeah, this match wasn't bad. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't great or good, but it certainly wasn't bad. It's not like I'm like, damn, this match, why did they have this match? There was some good stuff that I saw. And I like the fact that they're getting Ivy Nile involved. I like the fact that they're doing something with American Made, because not too long later in the night, the Brutus, I almost said the Brutus brothers, like Pat McAfee, the Creed brothers would have a match later on too. So for that, I appreciate it. And Lyra Valkyria would end up retaining the title. And yeah, moving on, we had the backstage segment with Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv and Raquel celebrating their victory. Finn Balor, it's like, yeah, I'm proud of you. I guess I'm proud of you. Even though you lost at the Elimination Chamber, yeah, I guess I'm proud of you. But I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because of Dom and Carlito. Because they single-handedly just got manhandled by Braun Breaker last week. And that's when Dominic goes, embarrassed. You had a chair in your hand, but you still backed down against Braun Breaker. And then that's when it was like the oohs and the ahs. Raquel gave that like, ooh, okay, kind of look. So I like this. Again, Judgment Day. I don't know if I said this in the past, but they're nowhere near as entertaining as they once was, and their backstage segments are not nearly as good as they once were. But the story that they're trying to tell, I can get behind it. Dominic Mysterio is slowly getting tired of Finn Balor's leadership. Excuse me, leadership, and eventually he's gonna turn. Finn Balor, he's kind of taken on that role of the angry father of the group. It's kind of the same role they gave Damian Priest, although I think it suited Damian Priest better. This time around with Finn Balor, it just kind of feels. It just kind of it doesn't work for me. I don't know if it's because I take Finn Balor more serious, or maybe it's because I don't take Finn Balor serious enough to be the father of the group. Either way, the segment served its purpose. It's it was meant to do exactly what it did. You know, put over Dominic Mysterio as the one that's going to eventually turn on Finn Balor and have Finn Balor set up a match with Braun Breaker. So moving on, we had the Creed brothers versus the Viking, or I always call them the Viking Raiders. Jesus, the War Raiders. Man, I got to get right with that. This match was good. This match was good. Some good stuff that I liked. I love seeing the Creed brothers go up high. Man, you had Brutus, I think, do a 450 splash, and the other brother did like a shooting star press. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is crazy. So they had some really good spots, really cool moments, but War Raiders would end up retaining, and that was that. Then brings us on to, I believe, is that it? No, we had a New Day segment with LWO. Who really cares? But I say that, but at the same time, I'm happy to see LWO and New Day actually in a feud. And LWO actually got a backstage promo, so that's cool. But again, who really cares? Moving on, we had the. Did we have the main event at this point, or does something else happen? I'm trying to think because there's. I feel like I'm missing something. It's just not coming to me. We had a Finn Balor and Braun Breaker promo. Braun Breaker was in the crowd. Finn Balor was in the ring. Finn Balor was trying to egg Braun Breaker on to get him to come to the ring. Braun Breaker did just that, came to the ring. There was a trap set up. Carlito was there waiting for him. Braun Breaker cleared him out. Dominic Mysterio hiding in the timekeeper's area, jumped from the barricade, got caught, got handled, and then they had a face-off. And that was that. Then you had an AJ Styles backstage promo with Karrion Kross, talking about calling out Logan Paul, talking about him being in shock about what John Cena did. So yeah, I don't think there was anything else. Nothing else is really coming to me. Oh, you had Penta and Ludwig Kaiser. They had a nice little face-off or whatever. Ludwig Kaiser came out, had a nice little promo. Then Penta came out, beat his ass. That will probably set up a match somewhere down the line. But yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. I don't think I've left any stone unturned. So we're gonna move on to the main event of the night, which was, as you can see on screen, Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. And I thought this match was not good. Ah, I don't want to say it's not good because there was definitely some stuff that I liked. I just expected a little more out of these two. I'll leave it at that. It wasn't bad. It just didn't meet my expectations, and I had higher expectations for these two because they're two of the best women in the division. But in hindsight, it's on a weekly show. It's on a Raw. So I could see why they had the match choreographed the way it was. So I'll give a little bit of fairness to the match. I'll give a little bit of leeway, give them the benefit of the doubt. So I'll say the match was fair. It was fair. It served its purpose. It was meant to tell a story that I honestly didn't catch up on, or I honestly didn't catch watching the match. It went totally over my head. But yeah, these two wrestled. They had some good moments in the match. sweet reversals. I remember Rhea Ripley was trying to go for like her Riptide. Io Sky did like a Hurricane Rana. Some really, really cool reversals. And they made it a point to let the audience know that Rhea Ripley has never won against Io Sky. And Io Sky is undefeated against Rhea Ripley. So I guess that should have told us, the viewers, that Io Sky was going to win. But again, I didn't pick up on that. I didn't see this coming. So moving on, somewhere towards the match, somewhere in the deep parts of the match, Rhea Ripley notices that Io Sky is getting cheered on by Bianca Belair, because I forgot to mention Bianca Belair was ringside watching the match, just kind of get a gauge of who she's going to face at WrestleMania. Io Sky was outside. She got back in the ring, and as she got back in the ring, Bianca Belair was clapping for her. Rhea saw that, and she kind of took that as, okay, like, why are you cheering for her? Don't you want to face me at WrestleMania? Like, what's the deal? What's up? So she gets out the ring, she pushes Bianca, and Bianca's like, girl, what the hell wrong with you? Nobody's scared of you. She pushes her back. They get in a little altercation, but Rhea must have misheard or misjudged this entire situation, because that's not at all what Bianca was trying to do. Bianca was just simply cheering on both of them during the match. She just happened to see at the wrong time that she was cheering on for Io. So not too long after that, Rhea get back in the ring. Rhea grabs Io. She takes her up to the top of the turnbuckle. She sets her up for the super Riptide. And she looks over at Bianca at the announce table, and she tells her, I'll see you at WrestleMania. As she goes for the Riptide, Io Sky, Hurricane Rana, they hit the floor. Io Sky jumps back up on top, does the moonsault, goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. And I was shocked, man. I was shocked. I was at work. I had my vacuum in my hand. I was vacuuming the room. I looked over and I see 1, 2, 3. I'm like, I had to drop my vacuum. I had to walk over. I'm like, dude, there's no way. There's no way that Rhea Ripley just lost. So I was completely shocked. I was not expecting this whatsoever. I think this was a big shock to everybody. I don't think anybody was expecting this. But they gave us hints. They gave us hints, and they gave us clues along the way. And I just didn't pick up on any of them because I thought it's Rhea freaking Ripley. She's not gonna lose, right? But I was wrong. And I like what this does, because this will now set up a triple threat match at WrestleMania. What I can see happening is Rhea going to Adam Pearce or going to the officials, Jessica Carr, and being like, hey, you didn't call that last week. She put her hands on me. That should have been a disqualification. By rule, I should have my title. I should still be champion. So I think they're going to lean into that angle. I think they'll give Rhea a rematch. She might lose again, and then that will lead to a triple threat match at WrestleMania, I would imagine. So yeah, I didn't see it happening, but I'm here for it, man. I love Io Sky. She's one of my favorite female wrestlers in general. I always say female wrestlers, but I should be more, right, and I should be fair to both males and females, and I should say just wrestler in general. But yeah, I like this. This was good. I'm here for it. And, after all the complaints that I've heard on the internet and people saying that Papa H loves Rhea Ripley and he overbooks the hell out of Rhea Ripley, and he books Rhea Ripley to be a monster, and no one can ever beat Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley is Triple H's personal favorite. Shut the fuck up. Because now you can see that that's not the case anymore. Or it might still be the case going forward, but now you can see that Rhea Ripley has a kryptonite, and that's Io Sky, and she cannot get the upper hand over Io Sky, and she lost the title. So there you go, man. I feel like this past couple of days, Triple H has really took notice of what people were saying on the internet, and he said, you know what? I'm gonna show y'all exactly why I'm the best booker you've ever seen. Now, obviously, he's not perfect, and there's obviously things that I don't like about his booking, but you got to give the man his credit. He's certainly way miles and light years ahead of what Vince McMahon was ever as a booker, was ever as his time in WWE. He's way better than what he ever was. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. The crowd for Monday Night Raw tonight was not bad. They weren't amazing. They got loud at the moments they needed to get loud, but there was a couple matches where they were just dead silent, and they really could have elevated some moments, but you know, the crowd was just quiet. So I'll give them a C, C plus, C minus. Overall, I'll give the show a 3 star, 3.5. I'll give it 3.5 stars because we did see a title change, and it wouldn't make sense to have last week's show or any other week's show be a 4 out of 5 star and this week's show be a 3 out of 5 star when there's a title change, you know? So I'll have to give it points for that. So I'll give it a 3.5, 4 star out of 5. Like some things that I saw. Chad Gable did mention this, but Chad Gable is looking for the dark arts, the performance, the dark arts, lucha dark arts. They had a little promo. He met with somebody. They gave him a box, and I don't know what was in the box, but one can only imagine it's a luchador mask. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up everything I gotta say about Raw. I've basically covered everything I think. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys for watching. Peace, love, positivity. Love you guys. Take care of yourself. Peace.